there, and that's where you can really see that the light is doing a good job of not just increasing the luminosity of the texture, but also increasing the gamma, kind of the exposure of it. It's nice. It's good shit.
And we are getting started here in the loser bracket final. Matt versus Profanum. We are on Matt's point of view, who is getting the mega health first, getting some yellow on him as well, and trying to collect most of the important weapons. Oh, we saw some pressure from Profanum with that iron cannon from top.
I mean, sure, he's able to do damage from below with the bolt, but he's kind of getting baited into this fight right now. He's got more
that push from Profanum, so deadly. And Matt was not able to do anything. He didn't have the correct weapons out. He was trying to go desperate for those bolts, which was obviously not the right call. I think he had the rockets as well that he should have been using. And speaking of rockets, Profanum getting himself a frag. And what? What was that spawn? Look at the damage there from Matt. He was able to wiggle down Profanum's health and armor quite low. And Profanum is just gonna go as far as the rocket jumping in order to get good position here on this red already. And look at that rocket. Matt just strafed into it.
Yeah, Matt hasn't really given himself a lot of time to worry about getting weapons and items on the map just yet. He's been so focused on being engaged with Profanum right now. He really needs to give, you know, time to treat himself.
Oh, interesting fight there at the jump pad. Profanum is having none of that. Instead, he's just gonna go for the position. He doesn't need to have this fight. He can just, oh my god, 92 damage. That's the nade that pisses you off. And then returning with a direct rocket and a bolt as well. Profanum extending his lead. This is looking quite good.
There's a certain situation where you're not able to pick up any armor because you're getting the picks, but you're dying too quickly to enjoy it. You're controlling the armor, but you die immediately. And yeah, that's a especially shitty situation. Alright, but yeah, just a couple of minutes off here, and Matt is finally able to get back up on a decent stack. He's got a bit of armor to work with.
Yeah,
but he doesn't know exactly where Profanum's coming from. He's ready with the LG though.
Yeah, you could see Matt was setting up a trap there on that yellow armor, and Profanum was able to go for it anyway though, and just pinning Matt in a corner with those rockets, and extending his lead once again. It's a very strong play from Profanum so far. Right now he just let Matt get a red armor, which he couldn't really help. So all the LG is out, and Profanum's armor has been wiggled down. So one more bolt would have been a frag for Matt. Not anymore.
And Profanum is mostly just having the run of the map. He's not really hunting out Matt all that often, just mostly meeting him at these all-important areas. Meanwhile, Profanum just wasting a lot of time at Mega, and because he's been given so much opportunity and so much leeway on the map from Matt, he's able to kind of screw up the routing a little bit and just take these crazy rocket jumps in order to screw up where Matt thinks he's going to be. But man, he's taking so much damage, given so much with the bolt as well.
Yeah, he gotta play it careful, but that yellow armor right after that messy mega pickup was just a godsend. And now able to get the red armor as well, able to hold his ground on those small things as he was getting himself on that item. It's so easy to get pushed off from the red armor. And good damage both ways. It's gotta be Profanum with that iron cannon getting the frag, and he's going aggressive with only 40 health remaining. Crazy moves.
Matt really needs to recontextualize that fight at the mega health. He's taken too many frags there, just in the room itself. Man, nice jump out of Profanum, getting a grab for that red. He's still fairly low on health, but he's going to be putting Matt in just the same box here in a second.
Interesting angle that Profanum is holding. It's almost like Quake lifestyle rail angles you see used often.
Yeah.
But you really don't see that in this kind of games. Interesting. Profanum still able to land that shot. And getting himself in a position for the red armor, and there we see Matt trying to go for some bolts, missing both of those, unfortunately.
But he's in a better state now than he has been for a while, but he gets caught in that yellow armor corner once again. He's able to do a lot of stab back damage, but he's got to leave that with only 60 health and no armor to speak of. Coming back in for one more fuck you rail on the mega itself. But all this back and forth and all this stabbing is, you know, it's not putting him in a position where he can grab anything on his own. There's the red armor finally, but with only 5 health, can he hold on to it for any appreciable length of time? I don't know, we got a lot of time before that mega comes back up. He's only at 30, there's not really a 25 near him to pick up, and if he drops down, he's going to be committing to both that yellow armor and the 25. But Profanum is still leaving him alone. Again, it's not as if Profanum is just actively hunting him the entire time.
Actually, good bolts from Matt on this item. Not able to land enough of them though. And he's gonna get himself on that Mega, and you can see how Profanum is playing this. Right after he knows that he's giving his opponent an item, he's not giving them any kind of a break. He just goes full on aggressive. LG, LG, and then just let your opponent live his life with low health and no armor anymore.
I mean, Profanum just walked in, grabbed the red armor, and just left, and wasn't too worried about Matt's ability to hurt him. But again, this is the fight. Yeah, this is really Profanum's room. He really shouldn't be fighting him there.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, both the main areas have been Profanum's room most of the game, which is kind of the problem here. He's doing a very good job covering most of the areas on the map. And there we go, Matt going for a steal, not taking any damage for it, so now it's his chance to shine. Just gotta be able to land more damage, which is the hard part. Profanum coming in with those rockets, he gets bolted, and he's gonna be able to get the frag with 30 health remaining. Now he's running. You can see Profanum doesn't want to lose a frag here.
He was looking for that goodbye rail when he himself was railable. I don't know if Matt has too much hope left here.
Also, quick point out to the chat, I can't select the reflex at the right game for the stream. It only gives me like the possible options and not just anything. And this was the closest one.
I thought it was in the list now.
It says reflex, but it's the reflex, the bullet hell shmup.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, that's the closest we can do, unfortunately. I thought we did have a reflex as well, properly in the list, but it wasn't this time.
I'll call it fish.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
But yeah, 9-on-1 here, 3 minutes left over.
Yeah, it is looking like a very solid performance for Profanum, but Matt with one frag in wants to string more a few of those. Should be able to get this red armor, except Profanum just coming in very hard on that red armor. Not able to get the item, but not able to survive. But what he would just want to do is deny it, because you can see how low Matt is. He's still keeping up with the damage, just a little bit more for the frag, and he's going for those bubbles, doing well, avoiding the grenade damage.
Yeah, he's just so greedy for these last little shots, even when he's completely killable. He's able to pick up red armor there at the very least, and we've got Mega up. Oh man, nice rail just denying him. Man, Matt's wondering where the hell is he even coming from. So armor or no armor, he's going to be picking up that frag. We got 2 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, it really looks like Profanum is giving no breaks to Matt here. Just full on crush mode. It's more like a strangling kind of crush here, rather than just a complete stomp. As it is DP4, you can't really go 30-0 here or 30-2 or whatever. But
yeah,
you can strangle your opponent out of resources and keep dealing damage on every single item they pick up. They can't even go for yellows without taking damage.
And that is largely the game that Profanum is playing. He's just playing a very tight control game, even though that Matt is able to get away with some of these. When it comes to the actual fights, things start to kind of fall apart. But that being said, Profanum still isn't actively hunting out Matt in a lot of these situations.
Yeah, he doesn't really need to. He just set up his traps on the items, and
fuck?
is always prepared whenever Matt tries to go for damage.
What was that jump?
It was a crazy moment. That is reflex for you guys.
Yeah. Gotta love that air control.
It is beautiful. I love it in the games I play.
But yeah, I've completely come back around on this map. Like, compared to like CP7, this map is like technically ugly, even with the textures, just from a brush standpoint. But man, it flows and it moves and it plays so nicely.
It is very nice. It also works for clan arena kind of play if you're into that. Especially if you try to bring your friends to play this kind of games. I think you should usually introduce them into the arena modes, because you don't have to learn about pickups and so on. First, you can just learn the weapons and movements, and new people can have more fun with it easier. But yeah, we are gonna be getting ourselves on the second map, as Profanum taking this quite convincingly. I mean, of course, DP4, the scoreline is not that bad, but he just didn't give Matt proper chances to do anything. There was the frag after the end of the game, which is always fun to see. Let's see. We are gonna get ourselves on tourney 1, and
oh boy,
this is gonna be fun. Profanum played a very good T1 against Ultra, but he wasn't just quite able to keep up with his pace and able to adapt towards that playstyle. But against Matt, it might be a total different beast here. I wonder if Profanum has been able to get enough whiskey in his system to play on the next level. I hope so. Oh, sensitive race by 0.1. Now we're getting started.
Yep.
It is hardcore. Aperture, yes, you can write your own HUDs in Reflex. We are using a custom HUD at the moment. We are using the THC competitive HUD. Massive shout outs to THC and Qualix for making this. It is very nice for streaming. And we are getting started here in the second map. We are on Profanum's point of view. Who gets the Mega Health first, goes for the yellow room. He's gonna need some weapons, already having the Ion Cannon, but nothing else. And the Ion Cannon is the absolute correct weapon for this situation.
Oh my god.
Able to get the first frag. It was 50-50, it's gonna be lava or the Ion Cannon that gets the frag.
Right, he's still out of a rocket launcher at this point, but he's going to be pushing up for the red armor. 3 seconds left to it, and Matt's just got to leave it up completely, but he cannot escape, and he ends up getting a bit of a shit spawn there. We've got Profanum going back in.
Matt's dying to his own nade, tripping on the pineapple there.
Nice blaster jump there. And he's finally able to pull away a rocket launcher. We've got 10 seconds left for the red armor, but it looks like Matt was wanting to prep for it already a little bit too early as Profanum pushes him off of it. And he's just expecting him to already be there, so maybe Matt needs to kind of reconsider his approach to the red. Maybe not via the stairs, but by a jump, which is exactly where Profanum's been able to do so much damage on Matt already. Profanum eating a little bit of damage on the stairs, going up towards yellow, and actually whiffing that bolt, but he's able to come back in for the second one. So like you said, his sensitivity has gone up a little bit, and you can see the immediate change in his movement and the way he's aiming. But there's
but look at that. That's the Ion Cannon push there. Matt able to get the frag, able to get Mega Health and the red armor, but he's getting direct rockets from Profanum, and that's something you gotta avoid. Should be able to get this frag and not even giving away that yellow armor, so looking good for Matt. He should be able to string up maybe 1 or 2 more frags here, but yeah, right now he's just giving Profanum a free go to get all the necessary weapons and some armor on himself. You can see he's just killing time here on the red, able to get that frag with that Ion Cannon. Rocket jump was not the best thing to do there for Profanum.
Holy crap, he hit almost all of that plasma as well. He's going to be going in for that last little bit on Matt, but he can't quite solidify it at this point. Matt still has a decent stack. He's been able to hold on to it, but can he do much with it now that he's got it? He's got a couple bolts off, but he's going to be stuck down in the lava once again. We are sacrificing so many players to the lava already.
Yeah, gotta sacrifice the players to the volcano, got it. Oh, what a beautiful
I know Joe versus Volcano. I don't know if I know Matt versus Volcano. Might have been a sequel. That's a Tom Hanks joke. Yeah, I know. I don't get it. Whatever.
I was just referring to the Quake 1 death message. I think it was like,
here we go.
This is the volcano god. Now, Profanum, he should be getting ready for the red armor, but he just let Matt...
Alright, whatever.
He was relying on Matt failing that jump, apparently, and apparently it was the right thing to do.
Bit of a whiff on that last rocket, allowing Matt to get away, but Profanum's going to be controlling away the yellow armor as well. Not so much fun for Matt as he's just trying to LG and get the hell out of that fight, and Profanum's going to be coming back in for that cycle and just rocking him on down. When you're able to maintain so much momentum here, you aren't even really committing to fights, you're just
going past, trying to deal damage, and because
yeah.
you are going so fast, your opponent is having a much harder time landing any damage. So you are just trying to fly around, go for from position to position, and try and deal some free damage. And that's one beautiful thing about this games with air control.
And then you just try to do more damage on your next lap around.
Oh man. So it looks like someone really needs to practice that circle jump on the red.
Yeah.
It's not that hard actually. You can do it quite easy after practicing it a few times. But of course there might be a bit of stress going on here in a tournament game. So that's surely taking its toll here. And as Profanum extends its lead once again.
And this is the map where, depending on the speed differences between the players, you will see the widest score between people. I mean, again, I was just so amazed to see Ultra do what he did against Profanum here. You can see that Profanum definitely, you know, prefers to just kind of go balls to the wall, keep doing laps, keep his momentum up, and just use that inertia against players like Matt. Ultra was able to turn that back against him, and hopefully Profanum isn't screwing with his config too much here, because he needs to figure out how to either take the strategy and multiply it, or figure out a new approach if he's going to be going against Ultra again. And by the look of it, he will be here pretty soon.
And we can already see Profanum going for the chase. He wants to make sure Matt is not able to stay in that yellow room area. But he can still keep going for the damage, especially now with the red coming up. He doesn't want to let his opponent get that, and that's exactly what happened. Profanum in a bad spot in that lava, but somehow still lands at the final bolt for the frag, keeps landing these shots, even grenades to the face. 10 frag difference now. Jeez, he's just not stopping, he's just steamrolling right now.
Yeah, and Matt can't be asked. Yeah. It was almost a pun.
Almost.
Yeah.
We'll accept it this time.
Thank you.
Maybe someone will give you a chuckle in the chat.
That's alright.
And Matt getting a nade frag there, getting himself out of the negatives. And you can already see Profanum going for the cheeky axe. Not getting the axe frag, but continuing with the ion cannon instead.
So this is certainly now rinse and repeat for Profanum a bit, kind of at will. But he's got to be thinking about that last match against Ultra on this map here, where it was a very, very different pace indeed.
Oh, those rockets are just bouncing Matt around, juggling him like a ball. And he's not really getting any chance at those kind of fights. His position is not good when he basically enters the fights and starts getting juggled. And that's about it. As long as Profanum keeps landing good rockets, there's nothing he can do.
And that is a major part of it. I mean, the minute that you're able to take a major chunk out of Profanum, it does kind of force him to slow down. Otherwise, oh my god, that rocket pop. I think he just shot him through to the next level. My god. And it's these sort of flick rails as well.
Yeah, you can
and he's
definitely.
Not too,
yep.
Yeah, he's not too bothered even if he doesn't get too much out of these fights, just because Matt, I mean, in order to really do any damage, Matt needs to get a good bearing on Profanum, and obviously that's difficult to do right now. What the hell was that grenade?
That bounce grenade, that was amazing! Holy crap. Too bad Profanum didn't even get the frag. I mean, he got the style points.
Profanum has has one hand on his mouse and another hand holding a book on trigonometry.
Basically, yeah, he has his TI-84 pocket calculator right next to him that he's using to calculate these angles.
I hope he got his $200 worth.
Probably did.
But yeah, it's not looking too bothered now. So 2.5 minutes left, and yeah, Matt is mostly target practice at this point. But a really good showing out of Matt overall. This has been a really good bracket. We've had some really awesome games. But it looks like in a couple minutes here we'll be going into our grand final, which is going to be once again Profanum and Ultra.
So it's gonna be a best of 5 in the grand final. I don't remember the rules if there's gonna be like map advantage for winner brackets or if it's gonna be 2 best of 5s or what's gonna happen. But we're gonna find that out right after this game. So yeah, it's gonna be really good. Those two players, when they duke each other out, it's just amazing to watch. You can never tell what's gonna happen next.
And I think just with the way the damage balance is playing out in Reflex so far, I'm actually kind of preferring it to the current state of like Warsaw or something. We're seeing so much variety even in a map like THC1 here.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's we could mostly credit to that there's actually enough games going all the time, enough good level players who kind of provide the feedback, and we have that constant coverage from people like the guys that Play Hard Go Pro,
Right.
and very tight communication with the developers who care about this game very much. So
Yeah, I
that
think
kind
even
of combination is very
Yeah.
good for the development.
I think even compared to the last Australian Cup, which we covered, there's actually a pretty big difference in the way that these fights are playing out.
It is. It's it feels like it's a lot less rocket heavy. Obviously, since the recent rocket nerf, even the EU cups are mostly just rockets and rails all the time. But these days, it's very varied how the fights should play out, and I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Yeah, it seemed like before, and I think this applies to the current state of Warsaw as well. There's sort of the right way to play each map, and it comes down to which player is able to play that map the right way the most right. But as we saw in the last matchup between Ultra and Profanum, that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, you can have those different playstyle, which is one thing VQ3 style games have been quite strong at. Like, there's always, you can compare different players and instantly recognize their playstyles.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing about this game, and if they're able to bring some of that into a more fast-paced game like this, that's just win-win, basically. But yeah, that's gonna be Profanum going through from the loser's bracket, and he's gonna face Ultra once more, and this time with his sensitive raised and also more whiskey, he might be able to make a different outcome.
Well, depending on Profanum's particular